Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So, guys, we are here today, of course, to talk about the messiness, the foolishness of it all. Love After Lockup is back in the building. Love During Lockup, honey. A whole new cast. Season 4, episode 42, according to them. Baby, let me tell y'all something, honey. I can't with these people, okay? We definitely have a hot mess of a daggone cast this season. We got somebody, child, they sending $1,000, $5,000. One is getting 15,000 sent to her, but baby, the red flags is coming, because he sound like he crazy, deranged. He over here calling down the whole damn house while she ain't trying to have a party for her sister's birthday, and she ain't the only one getting red flags. Child, we got somebody packing up their daggone kids, talking about they about to move them to Georgia, okay? Going there with no job, no money. He ain't got no money. He's still locked up. He ain't even get out yet, and he ain't coming out to nothing. And we taking our kids there, girl. Then we got somebody else, honey, that own their own business, okay, doing taxes. And she telling the damn employees, you could put in your resignation if you ain't down with it, honey, because my husband is about to be your boss too. I'm bringing him in. He gonna be working with us. Honey, child, the way I would have been looking for a damn job that same day as we were sitting there in that office. We got an ex-cop, girl. An ex-cop that's dating a damn inmate, okay? Talking about, I love her. Let's go ahead and get into this, child. Break it on down. Take it from the top. You know how we do. So, y'all, I do apologize. I know that this is late. First of all, y'all should be apologizing to me, because how y'all not gonna tell me that Love During Lockup was back? I really did not even know. But now that I do, we back in business. I will be reviewing it. However, I gotta figure out where I'm gonna fit it into my schedule. It will not be as late as it was today, but it is a possibility that if it's not done on Friday nights, it will definitely be out early Saturday morning to you guys. So now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and get into this, y'all. So we got some couples. We got Jade and Chris. We got Lakeisha and Keith. We got Renika and Ashante. I hope I'm saying it right. We got Andy and Brittany, and we got Brittany and K-Knox so far, right? That's who we was introduced to this week. And we started off the episode with Jade and Chris. Now, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Bear with me with these names, because we just starting to learn these people. But what I can tell you is, honey, Jade was on the phone with Mr. Chris, and she's already saying she getting prepared for her sister's birthday party. You see mama in the back giving them looks, honey. You could tell mama ain't happy that she on the phone with him, okay? And in Jay's situation, she actually living the life of luxury, or so, you know what I'm saying, we supposed to think, because she's getting like 12 to 15,000 a month from him, whereas you the other way around, and they sending the inmates money. He got money. Now, they started out with like this little pen pal situation, and then it developed into love, okay? So of course she's saying, she was like, oh, he's super sexy and I'm liking him, he's so handsome. How could someone that handsome be in jail? So, she's 33, he's 39 or whatever. So now we got this love going down, right? And he just says she ignited something in his heart, whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, and they started dating. And it was like a few visits later, it's like, let's get married. And so they got married 7 months after they met. Ciao. So anyway, we see she's getting ready for this party, and she's finishing up decorating, and she's basically, he asked her, well, I want to call you back in a bit. What would be a good time to call back? And she says, I don't know. I'm hanging out with my friends. How about an hour? Now, to me, if you saying you preparing for this party and you about to be hanging out with your friends, when she said an hour, I was like, are you really going to be ready to talk to him in an hour? But I did not know that we was about to see him really lose his mess out here in these streets, child. Well, actually up in the prison. So now when she hang up, mama been making faces the whole dang on time that she was talking to him. And she's like, oh, did you cut up the tomatoes? What do you need help with? The balloons is done, da-da-da-da-da. She over here talking about her and her sisters call themselves the Jardashians, and they're super, super close or whatever, right? So everybody's starting to come in. We, oh, I love your dress. I love the decorations. Boo, doo, 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 doo. So now we get in the back and we having some drinks. And apparently her friends, which, I really don't believe that y'all didn't know this already. But, of course, y'all got to show it on camera so we can know. She starts to say how, well, damn, he got all this money or whatever the case may be. How a person like that ended up in jail? Why the hell did he have to be stealing things in the first place? And she was like, oh, well, actually, okay, he was out here addicted to that meth, honey. He was on that meth and, it had him going a little crazy. He was breaking into people's houses and all of that. And then we found out, he was supposed to have 32 years, child. I said 32 years, but he only going to do a portion of that time. And he will be out by 2024. So she's basically saying that, not only that, he's a habitual offender, child. He done been in about 7-8 times before this. So the damn girl was like, what? I'm thinking, her friend, like, I'm thinking this is for his time. 7-8 times before this. She like, yeah. She was like, are you freaking kidding me? I didn't know that. So, she's basically like, yeah. So we already know if this money wasn't rolling in, 9 times out of 10, Jade would not be messing with no damn Chris. Or maybe she would. We don't know. But, her friends talking about, you really living the life of luxury. I said, okay. So now, she had also had the nerve to say, I can change him. I can fix him. You don't believe that, girl, right? So anyway, she also, of course, was saying if she could map out any man, it would definitely be Chris. And her ultimate goal is for them to be together. They want to have these babies and all of that. So now we get into the party. We having a funky good time. We drunk as a skunk. Everybody celebrating, everybody drinking. And we start talking about tattoos and how she got this tattoo of Chris on her. So they like, yeah, you got one of him on your butt too, right? And in the meantime, we keep seeing that he's calling on his phone, but she ain't answering the calls. So please tell me why they told her to lift up her damn dress and show everybody. I was like, no, girl, you really don't have to. But of course, she does. And her dad is looking like, no, don't. But she does. She also brings out a damn freaking pin-up child of Chris talking about surprise, he's here. So in the meantime, when she finally does answer the phone, we got a whole argument going on. He giving her the only attitude. He like, I was calling over and over and over. Why the hell wasn't you answering? And she like, because I was partying and celebrating and, basically talking with my family and my friends. And he's like, oh, basically, long story short, okay, I don't give a damn what the hell you was doing. You could have answered my call. You ain't that freaking busy. That's the problem. That's why I can't seem, to trust you, because you sitting here not answering me when I'm calling. She had all these missed calls. And then he went into, with his mom and the woman she used to hang around used to do. And that's where his trust issues come from. And then to me, it was just so embarrassing. It was very disrespectful. I'm glad she hung up the phone on him. I'm glad she started telling him, well, if you mad that you not getting no answer, how about not calling me every 20 damn seconds or whatever? Call me a little less, because you already know that I'm at this gathering. It's not like I'm outside somewhere in the damn streets. I'm here in the house with my family and friends. Basically her friends were saying the same thing. Child, as if that wasn't bad enough, honey, it did not stop there. He then proceeds to call everybody in the damn house phones, her sister phones, her friends' phones. I was wondering why he got everybody's number. And then she got it on speaker, so literally everybody in the house is hearing it, and they all looking around like, awkward. It would not be me, honey. It would not be me. So next up, y'all, we get Letitia and Keith. Child. Letitia over here with 3 daughters. 3. But you talking about some, oh yeah, I met the love of my life or whatever. We see her getting them ready for school, and we see her, saying that her life is super hard and she got to get these 3 girls ready. I'm sorry, 2 daughters, y'all. I don't know why I'm saying 3. It's 2. And she have her own business or whatever the case may be. And we find out that her business is taxes, And of course, she got to call and speak to Keith when she on her way there, oh, good morning, handsome husband and all of that. And so she's basically saying, again, this is another situation. I wasn't looking for it. I didn't think that I was going to meet somebody that was locked up. I've been looking, for love my whole life, and everybody else I've been with basically been a jackass, and they've been full of crap or whatever the case may be, and leeches. But she found Keith a few years ago, and he's amazing. Oh, his gold teeth. Oh my God, girl, a panty dropper. I said, that's what's a panty dropper for you, girl? Okay, that tells me everything I want to know. But anyway, he got locked up for drug, distribution or whatever. And apparently he was locked up with his cousin around 2020, and his cousin had a friend, and then her friend was Tish, and that is how they met. He fell real hard and real fast for her, and she talking about how he told her he would die for her, and she believed him and all of that. And so, she get here to work, and she go in and basically calls, her employees into the office and tell them, you're going to have a new boss. It's not just going to be me that's going to be, in charge of you, but it's also going to be my husband, who just so happens to be in jail. And they all looking at her like she got three heads, like, why would he have to be our boss? Yeah, this is going to be a 50-50. If he tell you to do something, you just got to go and do it, and so on and so forth. And one of the girls was basically making faces, and she was like, what's those faces about? Like, why would there be a problem? Why are you not happy that he's going to be coming in and being a boss? And if there is a problem, you could go ahead and put in your resignation. Child, listen, I ain't going to quit no job before knowing I got another job. But as soon as she said that, I would have definitely been searching for what my new job was going to be, and I would have been giving her 2 weeks notice, because girl, no. Okay, we not about to do this. She talking about how, this is going to be good for the business. She's like, oh, well, he sold drugs in the past, so he does have the business sense, and how they're going to get other, more work and more customers through him, through jail, because people in jail do work too, and sometimes they work, making 19 cents an hour, 29 cents an hour, and so on and so forth. And she thinks it would be a good idea for them to even make up flyers for it and everything else. I said, child, the fact that you are ready, you're saying you're the successful businesswoman. Okay, you made the choice to get with this dude that's from jail. That's, that's on you. That's your business. And maybe even if you would have been like, I'm going to bring him in and I'm going to give him something to do for work. But to say that he is an equal business partner, girl, child, you must be getting ready to, lose your whole damn business. Keep messing around, all right? I'm just saying. So she then proceeds to go ahead and take them out for drinks. Now, I don't know, if we were doing this Dutch or if she was treating them or whatever. I'm not too clear on that part, but we go for drinks. And in the midst of them having the damn drinks, she over here, one girl with braids is like saying to the other chick that was the one that was the main one that, seemed to be making faces and having an issue with the fact that he was going to be brought in. She's like, did you tell her? And it's like, tell me what? And it's like, oh, they was messing around before. And on the one hand, homegirl was kind of like, oh yeah, she know type of thing. But then Letitia basically was like, wait, you was doing my husband? Like, that's what you're trying to say? You and my husband had sex before? I was like, she didn't say that. She said the F word. But I'm like, oh, wait a minute, what's going on here? And of course, we cut off the damn episode there, and WeTV is probably just playing in our face, and it's probably not even going to be nothing. But, we shall see. I said, oh, this getting even messier, girl. Okay, that makes it even more complicated. While, I wouldn't want to necessarily be around him and be working with him, honey, if y'all was over here doing the loop-de-loop. Now, the next person we had was Renika, okay, and the person she's seeing is Ashanti. I hope I'm saying it right. Now, apparently, we saying we an entrepreneur, we saying we this rapper, whatever the case may be. She also has kids, mind you, and she's at this beauty salon where she basically goes, to the vending machines and be taking stuff out of there. So she's talking with her while she's in there, giving her the whole breakdown of why these people always want to tell people they damn business. But it seemed like she pretty much has a good relationship with her and knows her, whatever, probably comes here on the regular to handle the vending machines. And so not only is she hearing, but anybody that's in there that's getting their hair done is hearing. And they giving the same face that I'm giving and that I'm sure all of us is giving that is watching this from home. Girl, what? You know, she telling her, yeah, I'm in love. I'm about to move to Georgia. She like, well, do you have a job there? You got stuff set up there? Oh, no, I didn't set up anything. I'll set it up when I get there. And I'm going to be good. You know, no, he's still in jail. He in jail for robbery and from motor vehicles and stuff like that. And she was like, how long he been in prison? 5 years, but he's good. And she was like, you never had sex with him, you never communicated, like you never saw him outside of just talking to him. She was like, oh my God, why would you do something like that with your life, girl? Like, what are you talking about right now? You know, she just so casual and so nonchalant about it. And she's basically like, in a few days, I'm packing up everything. I'm taking me and my kids. She also has 2 daughters. And, you know, she's going to move to Atlanta to be closer to him. And I'm like saying, why is this such a rush to pack up and move there? Like, he's not even out of jail yet. I'm not too sure exactly when he's supposed to come out. But why not take your time? You know, well, he probably ain't going to be able to come visit you because he probably going to be on parole. But at least go back and forth and visit him. See how y'all are outside of seeing him in jail. And also slowly, okay, if this is going to be the choice that you are going to make, see how he interacts with your girls and how your girls feel about him, to just pick them up and move them all the way to Atlanta when you have no damn job. You talking about some, oh, that's the easy part. Is it? I can get something anywhere. I'll be fine with that. I'm not worried about that. And I'm going to take care of him for the first few months when he get out. And then that's when we find out that you basically been sending him money all the damn long. And she like, you know, girl, who's going to be taking care of who? Oh, I'm going to take care of him for about 4 months. You know, I got him, you know, he's coming home and he's not stable right now. She like, girl, you not stable right now. You know, I love him or whatever the case may be. She was like, but you're stable here. Why would you do that? Now, she says she's been sending him like $2,000 to $2,500 a month. And she was just like, why would you do that to yourself? And I appreciate that this lady was being so real. But, of course, it was going in one ear and out the other. You know, she want to talk about he's a good listener. She was like, of course he's a good listener. You know, he ain't got nothing to do while he in jail. But listen, what else he gonna do, girl? And, you know, she just basically laughed that off. I said, child, oh, Lord of mercy, girl. Lord of mercy, okay? So, you know, she talking about how, yeah, they probably going to have problems, but it's not going to be nothing out of the ordinary, nothing that couples don't already just go through, and everything is going to be perfect when he get home. I said, you already, girl, self-destruction, okay? You already setting your damn own self up, and you won't have nobody to blame but yourself, unfortunately. And I just hope that your kids don't get caught in the damn crossfire of this too. You know, he over here talking about some that he believes in true love, and she's saying how she's excited for this journey, and he's saying how we gonna make it work, and boo hoo hoo. So nonetheless, you know, she also goes to meet up with her father to tell him about this. Apparently he don't know nothing about it at all. And we do come to find out that her father actually was locked up too, missed 17 years of her life. So I'm sure that plays a big part. And he's basically apologizing and saying how he never wanted the fact that he, you know, got arrested and was away from her and all of that to have an effect on her and the choices that she make in life. But obviously it is. And of course, he's not happy with this decision, but he's basically saying, like, you're grown, you know, I can't really tell you what to do. I can't stop you from doing it. But I was just starting to get a connection with you and my grandkids and things of that nature. So I really didn't want you to be doing something like this, you know. And she's like, of course, I understand you having this concern or whatever, but this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is what basically, you know, makes me happy. And I said, so you're basically about to put your kids through what you went through pretty much. Okay. Only difference is that's not their biological father, but this is going to be somebody that's coming out of jail that don't know them. So I don't even know if that actually makes it worse, girl. Whew, child, y'all gonna work my nerves this season. I already see it, okay? So, that was pretty much dumb, okay? Then we get Andy, child, and Andy got a Brittany too. So, we have two Brittany's up here. We have Brittany, who was with K-Knock, who they both was locked up together. But right now we're talking about Andy, who's an ex-cop who has an inmate that he's talking to that is named Brittany. Okay, and we see him meeting up with one of his, cop friends. I don't know if they used to be partners or they just knew each other, whatever. But basically he's saying how it used to always be that rule that we couldn't mess with inmates or criminals or whatever the case may be, being as though I'm an ex-cop and I'm not working no more, that don't apply to me. Okay, apparently, according to him, this is the love of his life. He's so happy with her. He's so excited to be with her. He can't wait to be with her. He didn't know that life was going to bring him, to this, but this is where he's at. And he's really happy, but he know that people will probably judge him and look at him funny and all of that kind of stuff, because of him being with her now. And he's saying how he met her on the internet. Of course he did. Most of these people have even met these people through pen pal, child. I think I even seen one thing that says something about Facebook. And in this case, he met her online. And so, it was online at first sight, I guess. And, she's 36 or whatever. She's been incarcerated for almost 2 years. She was charged with possession. She's an addict and all of that. And so he's asking how long they've been talking. And he's like, it's a few months. And he was like, so have you physically went there to see her? And he said, yeah, he did do that or whatever, right? And that he was actually blown away with her and she was blown away with him. And, just because he's a police officer doesn't mean that he doesn't have humility and he doesn't have understanding and all of that kind of stuff. So his friend is saying the number one thing that pops in his mind is, what these people be up to, right? They usually want financial gain. They may be struggling with different things and all of that. And so he like, yeah, I get it. That's, how the story usually goes. And he was asking him, do he send her money? And it's like, yeah, I send her about $5,000 to $6,000. Child, y'all want to send me $1,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $6,000 a month, feel free, okay? And, his friend is basically like, wow. So, of course he's saying he could understand him, this being weird to him or him basically having concern and things of that nature. And they probably think that is nuts. But, at the end of the day, he's liking where it's going. So he tells him, of course, that she went in dealing with drugs or whatever the case may be. And he's asking him, did you ever look into her? He's like, he's known him for 23 years. And he never thought that it could be something like this, right? And of course, he went through a bad divorce. And funny thing is, the wife that he divorced was actually someone that was an addict. So you would think that if you divorce somebody because they became an addict and you know what that does to a person and what it does to a relationship, how do you then go get an inmate that was an addict? And then just be like, oh, but I didn't know her as an addict, so it should all be okay. I'm like, Andy, you hear yourself talking, boy? I don't think you do, right? And so he was saying he couldn't work the night shift anymore. He had to change careers, and it was really devastating. It took a real big toll on him, his kids, whatever, right? And so his friend is asking him, like, do you feel like you're saving this woman right now? And he's like, I'm not gonna lie, that's just my nature. I do be saving people, right? That's what my life was. But at the same time, I just feel like, I'm happy and this is the person that I met that I'm able to be with and whatever. So now he's saying, did you ever check her out? Of course it's no. So he like, well, I'm going to check her out. And it's like, well, go ahead right away. Go ahead and knock yourself out. So first he's saying there's just like liens and small claims against her. Nothing too big, nothing too terrible. We got some $700 stuff, some $400 stuff. This looks about average considering the situation. Then we see something with 25 male cohabitats, and that's pretty substantial, okay? And we also seeing that there's a whole bunch of different states, and he's like, well, she may have lived with different people. And he's like, now that is a red flag. That part does concern me. And she comes up with something in Denver, Colorado, and also Florida. So he's like, oh, well, she's never lived anywhere outside the state. And he was like, well, maybe this was saying to the drug things that she was doing or whatever, but it's definitely worth looking at. So obviously, Mr. Andy is just trying to have willful ignorance, because being as though you an ex-cop, I'm sure you knew that you could freaking look into her or ask whoever to look into her. So you just didn't want to know. And then, like I said, he's over here making the comment of, well, I didn't know her as an addict and I can't see her as an addict. Yeah, she may not be an addict right now because she's locked up, but you know, once you're an addict, you're always continuously fighting. And so just with you even having the knowledge and the experience that you had with your ex-wife, you're being very naive when it comes to that and how it works, honey, because that ain't how it works at all, okay? So nonetheless, you know, he keeps saying he gets the friend's concern and he appreciates him trying to look, you know, into her. And then he was saying that love is blind, and the friend is like, wait a minute, so we using the L word already, we did? And he basically was like, yeah, so he already sees what we see. Andy is a lost cause, and Brittany probably about to run him, okay? Run him. Okay, and we will be here to see it. So now we get to the next Brittany and K-Knock. And Brittany is basically working. No, she wasn't working. I'm sorry, but she was in cosmetology school. Okay. She getting a fresh start. She's now out. She's doing cosmetology, you know, learning cosmetology in school because she was already into hair and doing hair while they was, you know, locked up. And so she actually met K-Knock in prison. So at first I was a little confused, like, how y'all meet in prison, girl? What's going on? Do tell. And she does start spilling the beans, child. She starts spilling a little too much beans, if you ask me, okay? One part she's talking, of course, to the cameras and letting us know what's what. You know, K-Knock is 25. I think she's like 23. And she was saying that she was going to medical. She heard somebody say Brittany, and you know, they was basically like, oh, she's the most beautiful thing she's ever seen. They was following her, and she's like, who's that? And she was like, I see this good looking dark skinned man. So she was like, he's walking with this, you know, big white smile or whatever have you, and just asking her if she could have a second. And she like, we hit it off from there. So come to find out, K-Knock is basically a transgender, you know, man or whatever, right? And he refers to himself as he, him. And so they had started this relationship, and they were both in jail. She's out now, and I think K-Knock is supposed to be coming out in 3 months, if I'm remembering it correctly, right? And so now she starts to say how she got into jail, you know, because of course they like, if you don't mind, can I ask you some questions? Okay. You know, how did you get into this position in the first place? You so cute, you so pretty, and this, that, and the third. So she's like, you know, basically the guy she was seeing at the time, she ended up setting up a robbery for him. I don't know if she was involved in the robbery or if she just set it up, but it got her 3 damn years, okay? So apparently she's saying she learned from her lesson, trying to change her life now, you know, trying to get into the hair thing and see where that could take her or whatever, right? And then they're like, well, being as though y'all was locked up, did y'all ever get to do anything? She like, yeah, girl, we was getting it in, okay? We would put up a little sheet to shield us. And, you know, the girl that was getting her hair done was like, ooh, that's juicy, okay? So, you know, she was saying how she had been taking to testosterone shots, and, you know, it was in a woman's facility or whatever, and they had end up, like, I think, messing up something with her medication or whatever, and they went through all this different kind of stuff. And she, you know, one of them asked her, was like, this, you know, engagement ring she got on, because they say they're engaged, but it's actually a promise ring, right? So, you know, at the end of the day, she was like, well, how the hell did he get this ring? Because this ring is looking really nice. And she was saying that, you know, he has sugar mamas, or he used to have sugar mamas, and he would be investing in these different businesses or whatever the case may be. So that's how he was getting his money. And they was like, well, how you feeling about, you know, the whole sugar mama situation? She was like, I'm good with it. You know, he could still have as many as he want, as long as they paying all of them bills and putting money in his books. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. But I don't know if that's necessarily true, honey. I could see something like that coming to bite her back on her behind. But she did say that she didn't care, and he could help her with her card and all of that. And, you know, the woman whose beauty parlor was, I believe, she was saying, you know, you don't think something could happen. He could end up getting more serious with one of them or whatever. And she was like, you know, people talk one way when they in jail, but then when they get out, sometimes it's different. I appreciated this older lady once again, and somebody else that's, you know, a beautician, that's basically keeping it real with these damn young girls and letting them know, like, sometimes they gonna be one way when they in there, but they a whole different way when they out. You know, of course they be like, oh, I love you and this, that, and the third. And you know, of course, she trying to tell her, no, everything is going to be good. It's the same way in as, is, you know, it's going to be the same way when he's out as it was when he's in. And she was like, you know, I know nobody thinks that it's going to work, but we going to be coming together and we going to be the best thing since sliced bread or whatever, right? So I'm like, okay, girl, if you say so. I'm trying to think if I left anybody out. I talked about Brittany and K-Knock. I talked about Andy and Brittany. I talked about Renika and Ashante. I talked about Alicia and Keith. Yeah. So that was basically the first episode, y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all thought about this one, honey. Who y'all think is going to be the messiest couple? Who y'all think is going to make it? Who y'all think is going to break it? Who y'all think is just, Lord of mercy, about to be out here acting a whole damn fool? Put it in the comments. Anything that I left out, put it down there. Let's discuss. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you are so inclined. Give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky. Till next time, y'all. Toodaloo.